So we started with peds.
So our 8-week rotation was peds, neonatology, and
Elective.
We're basically like in the same
three of us,
rotation.
yeah.
It's so bad because I feel like for the last
Ever
you've been
since
in
we
the
started,
same block
yeah.
I've ever been.
So you've done in your 8 weeks, then you've done obstetrics
and surgery.
So we started with peds, and peds was wild. Well, for me personally, oh yeah, we're CPs, by the way.
Clinical partnership on click.
So like we do everything together. And for me personally, peds was like a shock to my system. That first week, I was like, are you out of your minds?
We were miserable in the first week.
Straight up miserable. Like, you're so miserable. Like, we got there and like, I was honestly expecting for them to be like, ah, welcome to peds. This is how it's gonna go down. See you tomorrow. Nope. They were like, welcome. This patient hasn't been seen. This patient hasn't been seen. There's a patient in EC and there are 2 patients coming from Friedenberg.
Stop working.
I was like,
Yeah, that was a lot.
and we got back to, I was at 6.
Are you
On the
kidding?
first day.
6
Yeah, because
p.m.
traffic from New Somerset Hospital is wild.
Yeah.
We did peds at New Somerset Hospital. Jim, should I speak for the both of us, babe?
Yes, babe.
So we had a lovely time. They have the 2 wards, so more acute cases in the 1 ward, and then more social issues and kids who have to be there for a while. So we did 2 weeks in each ward. It was very interesting. You do learn very different things in both wards. Everyone was amazing. Everyone was lovely. I don't think we had any bad experiences or encounters with anyone.
I had a totally different experience. I loved peds last year and this year.
We also loved it.
We didn't say we didn't love it. We said it was shocked the first week.
I loved peds. I want a child. If anyone wants to have a child with me.
Stole a child.
Peds made me love children.
Didn't steal a child.
We didn't steal a child.
No, but we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
We almost did.
No, we almost didn't.
Ever.
No children were stolen.
No.
In the making of this vlog.
In the making of this vlog.
And outside of the making.
And outside of the making. And in the continuation of our studies. No children were harmed or stolen.
I was at Red Cross. That was fun. And we didn't rotate like I thought we would last year, like Red Cross, Somerset. So I did my full 4 weeks at Red Cross B2.
Oh, you didn't even rotate wards. Okay.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
So, but the teams changed halfway through. The first, it's a great team. Those people, shout out to the B2 squad at Red Cross. Yeah, and we get there and they're like, oh, you guys what are you expected to do? And they're just like, oh, okay, we can just be part of the team.
We can. It's optional.
Yeah. And then she was like, yeah. Actually, the previous group of students were doing that. They were seeing patients, doing bloods. You guys can do the same thing. And they'd always finish Jimmy book stuff so quickly.
Really? Oh, because
yes.
there's overstuff.
Yeah, but besides that, they're very like keen because the next group was overstuffed, but we didn't finish. You know, so these people are like, oh, okay, Jimmy, let's do this by 2 o'clock. Why you guys go home or go have lunch? We're done. Leave.
2 o'clock.
That's amazing.
Like 2, 3.
I think like the first week at NSH, like we
didn't have lunch. We didn't have lunch.
Like I think maybe like towards the end, but like there were a good couple days where like the ward, like people would disappear and it's just me and Tanda holding this whole ward down.
Yeah.
And people come back with lunch bags and we just like,
so it was lunchtime.
Nobody told you.
And you're there like, yes, Mama, are you okay? How's Dana? No,
It's important to like incorporate yourself into the team.
No,
in the sense that I also have lunch and tea time.
Are you currently breastfeeding?
Oh yeah, I am.
breast is
Breast is best.
I mean,
So So we started with our 4 weeks of peds while you were doing 2 weeks neonatology and 2 weeks elective, and then we swapped.
Yeah. So then I did neonates at Mowbray Maternity. That was I thought I loved neonates. I thought I loved it, but it's boring. Yes, it's boring. But I love it's the babies. I love it because they're such cute little, but I can't do it. It's boring. It's so boring.
We did neonates at Mowbray, like Oratile, but not at the same time. I enjoyed it. No shame, it was good. It was interesting.
Listen,
we were working.
I won't even lie to you. I didn't enjoy it.
Gee,
I was so miserable.
Claire was so miserable, and her energy was
Shem, I'm so sorry.
Put me through the most in neonatology. I was doing 2 blocks in neonatology. I was being supportive friend, supportive clinical partner, and also trying to get my life and get a degree.
I hated it so much.
There was one lunchtime we had in the car, and like there was a point. It was a difficult lunch because we were sitting there trying to have lunch. Lunch was peaceful.
Yeah.
Lunch was not peaceful. There's I'm like, no, you're supposed like, no, it's okay. Chomza Samites. Like, and then I got to a point where like lunchtime just became girl talking by herself, and I'm looking out the window like, Jesus help us.
We're finding a happy place.
happy place. But like, no shame, it was good. Like, and it's I love that we balance each other out in that sense. Like, it's good to be there for each other.
Yeah.
Like, you can be having a rough time, and it's not a rough block. It's not helpful being like, no, let's get it together. Like, you're going through a rough time, so be supportive, be there.
No,
What did you like about it?
Exactly. What's
I enjoyed it as well.
Very
I don't know.
curious.
I think like I don't know, but like I just was not happy.
There was a spell.
Like I just wasn't happy at that in that place. I don't know, and like the doctors are. The doctors are nice. Shem, babies are nice, like the fresh
Babies are nice.
the fresh not fresh
Day ones, day twos.
One
fresh
chicken,
ones. The fresh babies, the healthy babies, that's really nice. Obviously when they're sick it's not as nice, it can be very sad.
Neonatal ice.
Hey, this is what I didn't like actually. What I didn't like about neonate is that they were wasting our time. I felt very disrespected in that space. I didn't like that. It's like they just want you to be around and like be like present when there's nothing to do. Like, I have exams in 2 weeks.
I think that's the thing with our experience with neonates. We'd do everything in the morning and be done by lunchtime. And then we're still hanging around doing nothing for the rest of the day. There's no Wi-Fi.
Some end of block is here.
End of block is like on your back, on your neck, on your. It's everywhere. Your heart is here,
So you can't.
but then you can't breathe. But you're still there.
And it's very
around.
difficult studying while you're still and people are like, you can just use your extra time, but you want to sit at a desk.
Exactly.
That
In your own space.
In your own space.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
one more thing, last thing about neonates. Like, it's also so weird that, I don't know, we see sick kids so often, even with peds, but how do we deal with it actually? Like, you just go home and carry on like it's a normal day. Like, it's one of the things I've been thinking about. Like, how am I taking all of this in, but where's it going? Because there was 1 week or 2 weeks I was just really tense, my shoulders. The whole time I was complaining about shoulders. I was like, where's my stress going? And I see sick kids, specifically sick kids, every day. How am I actually dealing with this? Or am I just taking it in and just, okay, let's just move on?
It's a coping mechanism, like having to find coping mechanisms and how we get through those difficult blocks. Because it's not nice seeing children every day who are sick. I know for one of my calls for neonates, I spent about 80% of my time in the neonatal ICU, and then there was an admission, and the premised baby I've ever seen. So that was difficult to see, and then we had to resusc that baby because they needed surfactants, and doing the whole surfactant, like getting it in and all of that it's quite the procedure, and intubation and all of that stuff. So that was difficult to watch. And then I realized afterwards, with exactly what you're saying, I didn't know how I was processing the entire block. So this was week 7-8 of the block, and it caught me off guard in that moment because I almost started crying during a recess. So I'm like, that's not appropriate. Like, you should. So it was, things like that. I actually never told you about that, but I almost started crying during the recess. But then baby stabilized, everything was okay afterwards. But in the moment, it gets a bit difficult. And after peds at Somerset, we did our 2-week elective. So I did my elective much. I did my 2-week elective earlier before school started in radiology at GSH, which was also lovely. I don't have much more to say about that. So in my 2 weeks, I don't know, am I allowed to say I went home? I went home. Someone's gonna fetch me at the end of the year.
And you're technically working in your holiday.
Yes, because I was in between peds and neonatology. So I went home for 2 weeks for my elective, even though I'd already done it. So that was nice. It was for self-care. I was at home. It was great. Thank you, family, for taking care of me and cooking for me and loving me. It was nice. And also was doing write-ups and all of those things for peds. And then, how was your 2-week elective?
Oh, my 2-week elective was great. It was so great. For me, 2018 started in March. Okay, everything else was like a blur, and like my elective time was like the first moment that I had to just like sit and like sit with myself type thing. So it was like, obviously I was doing things. I did my elective in public health at GSH. I was with the public health registrar at GSH, who's a phenomenal human being. He's really great. And like the elective was perfect. It was like just enough like work and just enough like downtime, because I needed downtime to also study and prepare for peds coming up. But I also wanted to like learn and get more information about like public health, and also the Masters in Public Health program here at UCT, because like I'm really keen on doing a Masters. So it was really great. It was like so informative, so enlightening. Everyone was super nice. It was nice to have downtime. Like I felt myself like for the first time the whole year. So I really, really enjoyed it. It was perfect, right? It was perfect. Yeah.
It was a very beautiful 2 weeks for both of us.
It's just so
you came back glowing.
So fulfilling, bruh. Like
I did my elective in emergency. I paid myself and went to Somerset Hospital, but I wanted to. I didn't get the chance to go in 4th year, so it was very nice. They teach, and I put up my first intercostal drain there.
Yay!
Did my first LP there. It was great. Nice. Yeah, it was really nice. And I mean, it was just there's always a few people who just make it difficult for you, but for the most part,
it was a good experience.
Yeah, it was great. Also, emergency is not for me. You see all sorts of things, and the psych in emergency, it's just too much.
It's a lot.
It's too much for me.
I love it. It's so entertaining.
It's entertaining, but if I have to now clock this person and this person was following me around the EC, and I was like, I'll come to you, keep your chair, because someone's going to take it, this room is full. So just keep your chair. And it's like, no, I just like being next to you. And I was like,
So I didn't have the same block. While y'all came with the babies, I was getting the babies out and delivering them.
It's very interesting.
And while you wanted to have babies, I don't want to have babies, from my experience in labs. So my first block was obstetrics. It was a really rough block. A lot of the times I overestimated how much time I had and then underestimated. Actually, no, it's the other way around, right? I overestimated my ability and my strength and my power. and energy, and then underestimated how much time and energy and the block actually takes. So a lot of the time I just felt drained. The people actually, they do teach. I had really nice teams that I worked with, also not so nice teams that I worked with. I learned about politics inside people, at your hospital.
Hospital
which
politics
is,
actually.
I didn't understand it, but like it's part of it, and I learned that different people deal with, they have different personalities, they work with each other differently. And I'm just gonna have to accept that and not always take everything personally, and like try to adapt.
What happened? Something happened.
Nothing happened. It was just like, I learned that people communicate with other people differently. It might not necessarily be the way you communicate, and
They shouted you shit.
Then shout at me, just like, okay, off the topic. It's just like this one doctor, and I felt offended when I asked the question. Well, so there was a CTG. So now I'm like,
Toko is Toko.
so like, okay, fine, CTG. So now I asked the doctor because I like wanted to learn about it. So he taught me, and then he said, what's the rhythm? So then he said, yeah, the rhythm strip is that beat 160, whatever. Sure, that's what it is. And now I'm like trying to show, okay, I learned something. So does it mean that there it was 170? And then he just stopped talking to me, right? And then okay, fine, sure. Go back, no, then it just started, like, he's like, yeah, no, it's 160. Okay, I get it's 160, but I want to like know if I learned something from previously, you know. Just stop talking 160. So I'm like, okay, fine, let's go about a day. Then he comes back to me. I really don't appreciate when you come at me underestimating or undermining my ability.
Yeah.
Bruh, trying to show you that I taught you, like you taught me something.
Yeah, usually people would ask you actually
Be like,
okay,
so what
you
you
should
interpret,
But also obstetrics, I did a lot of clinical skills, which is really nice. You were really part of the team. I put in ICCs, I put in an implant, and
it's actually nice being part of the team.
It is, and I think it's nice and not nice. It was nice in the fact that yes, they like incorporate you, they value experience, and you teach and you do things. But not where they like trap you and you have to like stay there. Which is kind of a balance. There were some wards like antenatal care where you're done, it's fine, you can go home. Postnatal, you're done, you see the baby, you go home 12, 2. And then my second block was surgery. Surgery was chill. I think it was refreshing compared to how obstetrics was. It was less busy. Also had a really nice team, a really chill team. And it was nice in the fact that we saw things that we'd most likely see in secondary hospitals because we went acute care surgery, so I saw a lot of like appendicitis, diabetic foots, or like foot amputation things, debridements, abscesses.
Where were you for
I was in Francisco. Oh yeah, and for obstetrics I had Mulberry maternity, that's why I ran into Ori every now and again. Which is nice.
We didn't even have lunch, we had lunch together once only.
Oh yeah, once only by
Once,
accident.
yeah.
So every GSH we kind of split it. 1 week in trauma, which is so very weird week in trauma. And then 3 weeks in acute care surgery. And acute care surgery is not acute care. It's acute care surgery, so it's like very different. But
Yeah.
And I passed obs, got my knocked down.
Hey! Killing
So I
it.
passed my first block of the year.
We didn't know how
great.
to
I mean, we probably killed it also. You know?
Yeah. Speak it out there.
Yeah.
put it into
Killed it.
Yeah. So now we in our
It's week 2.
So
second
second
block.
rotation?
Second rotation.
Second rotation.
Second
Second
8-week
rotation.
rotation.
And in the second week of April, which is also Awareness Month.
Sexual
Yay.
assault
Assault
awareness
month.
month.
And it's also
Red lips.
Autism Awareness
And
Month. Yeah, the red lips, or well, okay, my lips aren't red, but whatever, is to raise awareness. So like somebody stops you and they're like, oh, hey girl, look at you with the red lips, and you be like, actually, it's not just, red lips, it's for awareness. Also, just, I don't know, it's not a fun fact, but like a fact, like South Africa has the highest rate of femicide in the whole world. There's a lot of like violence that's happening against women and women and children in this country. So like any opportunity that raises awareness about like women's lives, women's health, women's rights, women's well-being is super important to us. So hence the lips.
And the red lips are a real conversation starter. I know I haven't been able to maintain. What's the date today? We're week 2 into week 2 into April, and I've worn red lips a few times, and each time it's been a conversation starter, and it helps other women when the conversation does start to, you know, just speak about their experiences. And we were talking about it earlier, we've been assaulted ourselves. So any sexual contact that isn't consented, someone grabbing your butt is sexual assault. People shouldn't be doing that. And yeah, so we just want to raise awareness about that, and obviously autism, so everything just works out. Awareness. April.
It sort of gets you thinking, like, what would you do if you were assaulted or harassed in a workplace? So, you know, things like that, like, who would you besides us as a support system, what would you do about it? Given that there are hierarchies, there are, you know,
definitely. And there was that situation a few years back with a medical student. She was an intern, and she spoke out about harassment in the work. So it's very difficult to speak about those things.
I went to a talk by Judasa and Asama Judasa talk, and like they spoke about this woman, and I was like, actually, I don't know where she is now, because like it was a whole hoorah, and then like silence since then, and like that's a huge problem that we have in South Africa, not just in South Africa, I guess, like, and just taking it back to sexual assault and like rape. Like you think that there are places that you can go, like the police or the hospital or stuff, but like there's still such a huge amount of like rapes and sexual assaults that occur that aren't reported, you know, because I guess women don't feel safe. Women don't feel like they'll be heard, and also like with rape culture, I think some women also just take the blame. You blame themselves for it, and they think like
I'm blaming is a big thing.
I have a hand to play in this.
And my thing is like we always say women, we are those women as well.
Devs.
And it does affect us personally. So I think it's one of those things where we're trying to emancipate ourselves and trying to raise awareness for our own issues as well. And we don't feel safe. We really don't.
No, we don't.
Walking out, going to KFC is very difficult.
Like we must
getting home is very difficult
before 7 p.m. because otherwise, if you can't find someone to walk you, you are not eating.
Can't go to Pick n Pay. Get some things like top up on your groceries and such. And when you come back from New Somerset Hospital at 6 p.m. but you need to go grab something at Pick n Pay so you can cook for yourself. If you don't have a buddy to walk you, it's late for you. So these issues are quite important, and they are pertinent and relevant for our lives as well. So we're just trying to raise awareness. So we hope this video reaches out to the people who it affects, and people who are trying to work through their own issues and experiences that they've gone through in the past, and also helping us to deal with our own personal issues and how to work with that moving forward. So red lips if we can.